All right. So welcome to Well Body Bootcamp. We are super psyched that you're here with us, hanging out with us for the next 2 weeks. Last year I ran this challenge and it was focused more on external growth. And this year, Kristen and I talked about it and we wanted to pull it away from the bikini, away from the external focus and put it more on the internal, which would be the Well Body, which is what we stand for anyway. So that's where the Well Body Boot Camp came from. We will be doing this every June, and all of you have lifetime access. So we are counting on you to every single time we run this. Hop on in, take advantage of the kickstart in the spring. So we're nearing the end of the spring, but we're still in this really awesome transition time where a cleanse or a detox is very appropriate because of the changing of the season. So if you are thinking about doing Well Body Boot Camp, you can actually do it on your own earlier in the spring if you wanted to extend it out. You can also take all this information and do it again in the fall. Those would be the 2 times I would recommend doing this program. And I'm going to show you and walk you through the membership site where you will get access long-term to all of the files, workbooks, videos, and everything that's has come your way so far. We are holding on to that all for you in a hub, in a membership site, so that as we grow this group, and as we add more to it, it's going to be an awesome resource for you to have moving forward. So we already checked on volume. Everyone can hear us. I'm going to start the call with a guided meditation. So this is actually guided imagery. I get it from the book Guided Imagery for Groups, and it's my favorite guided meditation. It takes about 3 minutes long, and it's called The River. So before we get into some nitty-gritty stuff, we're going to take 3 minutes. We're going to kind of wipe our busy days off our shoulders, ground down into a comfortable seated position, do some deep breathing, close our eyes, focus on our intentions for what we want to get out of this boot camp together, and then move forward from there. So as I'm reading this, I'm actually going to stop my video. You'll still be able to hear me. If you want to stop yours as well, feel free to do that and come back on after the 3 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and do that. To get yourself set up, I want you to have both feet on the ground. And because we're going to be doing a grounding exercise, put both of your hands palm down on the tops of your thighs. Be in a relaxed seated position. Take in a few deep breaths that are cleansing breaths. So don't worry about the counting. Just take in a really deep breath and let it out through your nose, through your mouth. This is like an instant cleanse, an instant detox of your system. Get yourself really comfortable, and then we're going to get started. And I think we just had one more person hop on. So what we're going to be doing right now is the guided imagery. So get yourself grounded, and we'll get started. Okay, so the goal of this guided imagery is to release tension from our day and to focus on what's at hand. And that's the coming together for the kickoff of Well Body Boot Camp. So sit comfortably with your back straight. Focus on your breathing. Notice your breath flowing in and out, slowly and rhythmically. As you focus on your breathing, close your eyes and continue to breathe slowly and deeply, and gradually relax deeper and deeper. So you are relaxing, and as you breathe slowly, deeply, and naturally, feel the chatter of your mind become calm and quiet. Feel your mind become clear and spacious as spacious as the sky. Your thoughts are like puffy clouds, drifting in and out, until finally you have no thoughts left. Your mind is clear and spacious as you breathe deeply. Your mind is free and clear. It is open and empty. There are no thoughts intruding in your mind. Just listen to my voice. It is your time to be quiet now. Time to be carried along with this daydream. So I want you to imagine a deep, wide, slowly moving river. Place yourself in the middle of the current, peering up into the sky, as if the water were holding you there, motionless. Feel the current moving slowly past your ears, neck, chest, stomach, waist, legs, and feet, so that you become part of the swaying current. Hear the unique underwater sounds. Hear the water gently rolling over the rocks. The sand rushing through the water. And your legs swaying back and forth with the current. As the water continues to support your body, notice your tension releasing itself into the stream. Concentrate not on staying afloat or staying in place, but only on letting go of your body's tension. Drifting with the current of the stream. Feel how light your body is at this time. How relaxed, how peaceful. Know that the very fact you have imagined your tension floating away with the stream's current makes it possible and real. Your tension has been released, and you feel light and relaxed. Tell yourself this. And when you are ready, open your eyes slowly. Let in the sight of your surroundings. And we are going to come back to the present moment. And I'm hoping that gave some of you just a moment of relaxation where oftentimes we don't give ourselves that opportunity throughout the day. So I'm going to give you just a few more seconds to kind of get back here. And while you're doing that, I want to point out, if you have questions for Kristen and myself during the next 45 minutes, please feel free to unmute or come on camera or place a question in the chat box there so we can get to it. First thing I want to say is you guys killed it today. I loved all the interaction in the Facebook group. You guys were supportive, posting your pictures, sharing your struggles. And I want to say that is what this is all about. We don't expect you to have this all nailed down at all. I mean, Kristen and I, we're in this. We live this day in and day out, and we still don't have it nailed down. So please do not feel like there's any part of perfection that is taking place here. So I just want to echo that again. Awesome job. And this is all about progress. Now, the first thing Kristen and I want to share with you guys is that we are actually going to be running some giveaways in the Facebook group. So we will post them as they come up. We'll do a few a week, and then we have a huge one at the end. So just be on the lookout tomorrow. We're going to post the rules for that. But they're going to be extra either digital or physical product giveaways that we are going to be sharing with you just to reward you for your participation. So we'll share more of that tomorrow in the Facebook group with some info. So let's go over I want to screen share and go over to the meal plan here. So this is what everyone should have gotten via email, and also there is a files section in the Facebook group. If you're looking at Facebook, your Facebook screen, the files section is on the right-hand side, kind of up above near where all the participant names are. And if you click in there and you click on a topic, it'll bring up all of the posts that have been tagged with that topic. So if you wanted to bring all the detox posts together so that you could read through them all at one time, you would click the detox tab. If you wanted all the meal plan stuff, you would click the meal plan tab. It's a newer feature that I hadn't noticed until kind of recently. So if you guys have questions about that, please let us know. But we are trying to tag our posts to help organize them for you within the Facebook group. So this is the meal plan that I made for you. And like I said before, if you want to cook from this meal plan verbatim, have at it. All of the meals in here for the entire days are between like 1,500 and 1,800 calories. So I did design them for weight loss without feeling deprivation. So they're designed, even today with the coconut avocado matcha chia pudding, that had like 32 grams of fat in it. But when you look at that over the course of the day, it was a very balanced macro. So each day, if you're following the meal plan, is going to have that 1,500 to 1,800 caloric range. And there's always going to be a range because I can't control portion size, and I'm not going to say, go get your measuring cup and measure out a quarter cup of this. And I'm not going to do that because I'm not that anal, and I just don't think that's healthy. So just so that you know that, I did design this for the purpose of weight loss. So if that is one of the things you have in mind as something that you want at the end of this 2 weeks, I would recommend you following the meal plan more than just the nutritional guidelines. If you have been eating gluten-free, sugar-free, mostly dairy-free, and you are pretty confident in the kitchen and you're creating balanced meals, I would say you could take the recipes from the meal plan that you want to check out, but definitely follow the nutrition guidelines. So you could go either way with that. But if you need more support, definitely fall in line a little bit more with following the meal plan as opposed to just the guidelines. But we do want to make sure we are keeping as many of the inflammatory foods out, and those are going to be your biggest offenders right off the bat. And that also brings up the point, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, but I'll just preface it. You are going to have, based on where you are, you will have different detox symptoms based on your current diet. So if you're someone who is eating pretty clean right now and you're not having any processed foods, very low sugar, zero gluten, you won't have detox symptoms going through this program, unless it's from like the withdrawal, like if you're choosing to take out coffee for 2 weeks or something like that, you won't feel detox symptoms on this at all, because this is not designed as a proper detox. This is designed to actually fuel your body with nutritional diversity so that you can prepare your system to move forward to make lifelong changes. Now, if you have not been eating your, optimal diet or where you want to be, and you've had some gluten, you've had some sugar, you do have some cravings, you have some inflammation going on, you might possibly feel some detox symptoms, even though this isn't designed as a detox. I hope that makes sense. And that's simply because you're going to be pulling toxins out of your cells and toxins out of your organs. You're going to be cleansing and detoxing your system simply because you're removing some of those heavier, toxic, inflammatory feeding foods out. So we'll talk a little bit about how to combat that later, but I wanted to preface it with that. So one thing I wanted to show you is that on the meal plan, I designed this where we're using a lot of leftovers. I have learned in creating, meal plans now for a year or two that we have to be more mindful of simplifying, which is why you see, like, for a snack, we're going to be eating pistachios. It's pretty simple, right? And that for lunch, we are really utilizing the leftovers so that there's nothing to think about when it comes to eating a healthy lunch. I have indicated the leftovers by shading them with this light gray. So today, I made 3 matcha chia puddings because Tuesday and Wednesday I'm going to be having leftovers of that food. You'll notice all the lunches here, they're all shaded, which means all of those should be leftovers. And so you really are only making a pretty simple but intentional breakfast and dinner. The snacks, you should be able to just pull out and go to town. They shouldn't take much thought or prep. It was brought up there needed to be some egg-free alternatives. So on top of this, I also placed in 3 or 4 different egg-free options that you can use for breakfast, or you can use those for snack. And those are shared in the file section in the Facebook group, and they're also tagged with the egg-free tag. So here's your shopping list if you were doing the meal plan verbatim. Again, I tried to cut down, and when I went through the shopping list in my own kitchen, I had 3/4 of the things already on this list, and my shopping spree was pretty painless. It didn't cost a lot of money, and they were foods that I was pretty used to buying, here at Aldi or Trader Joe's. I can't even remember if I think I did go to Whole Foods just because I wanted some really nice kale leaves. So one thing you'll notice is that I have a notes section here. I've spent, a decent amount of time looking and thinking about, what could you do as an alternative? What could you do if you don't like something? If you have a suggestion for me for the notes section, please let me know so I can include that for the future recipe of that item. So if you haven't had a chance to look at the meal plan yet, this is what it looks like. Okay. So tomorrow night for dinner, we're doing the spaghetti squash if you're following along. And if you really want to use ground beef or ground turkey instead of the lentils, I just put that in a note here. You can add diced zucchini if you have some left over. Like I have 2 mushrooms in my fridge right now that I know I have to use. I'll be throwing those in the sauce. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this. Like I'm not actually a huge fish lover, so figure out how you can make this work for you. So maybe you're using a chicken breast. And if you're not eating grains, like I know Kristen would not be eating the quinoa on this plate, even though quinoa is a healthy option. Some of you are low carb or no carb at all, and that's absolutely fine. You could serve this with riced cauliflower instead. And we'll share our alternatives with you as we move forward, but don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. And if you look at a recipe and you're like, I have no idea what to do with this, but I don't want to eat it, don't eat it. Okay? Pull from, something else that you know is healthy and would be a good substitute. And this pasta, just to give you a heads up, is a garbanzo bean pasta. This is not a traditional wheat pasta. This is not a gluten-free pasta. I actually don't eat either one of those pastas. I just eat the chickpea pasta, which has a great flavor if you've never tried it. Kristen, do they have that at Wegmans?
Yeah, it's called, it comes in an orange box. I can't think of what the name is. Something.
That one's Bonza.
Bonza, yeah. I was going to say boom something. Yeah, Bonza. They do have that. They also, I've seen recently, they even have like lentil pasta and some other ones, although I haven't looked at the ingredients super close to see if they add any other grains or anything into that one. But yeah, they have that.
If you can't find a pasta that would suit this program, I would look for a lentil pasta, which the red lentil pasta at Trader Joe's is phenomenal. I actually might be using that with this because I have it. But also, don't forget, you can spiral up your zucchini again. This with the bursted cherry tomato sauce on top of zucchini is phenomenal. So think outside the box, and if you're like, shoot, I can't find this Bonza chickpea pasta, let us know. We can help you think of alternatives like we just did. And if you can't find anything, you can even put this on a piece of grilled chicken.
I was gonna say I would serve it on like roasted cauliflower or something like that too.
There you go. So grill up some cauliflower, throw it on. That'd be amazing. Okay, so if there's no questions about the meal plan, I'm going to move on. Like I said, I don't want to keep us here too long tonight.
I think it's important to just note too, guys, like all this stuff, like she's saying, it's a suggestion. You don't have to follow everything that we do. You don't have to follow every exact piece of this program. We're going to give you a lot of little tips and little tricks and recipes and a bunch of stuff, but that doesn't mean you have to do all the things. Like you pick what you can do with where you're at, pick the things that fit into your life. Like Stephanie said, I don't eat grains. So I might not be following her meal plan exactly, but I looked through it all. I kind of coordinated similar ingredients. So I have a eggplant and mushroom recipe that I'm going to make later in the week because she had an eggplant thing in there. So I'm you don't have to follow it exactly. Nothing has to be to a T. I know a lot of people were stressing that they weren't going to be able to do it all. You don't have to do it all. These are just suggestions to help you move forward, and you pick the ones that you can implement now. And then, you'll have those in the back of your mind, like, oh yeah, they said I could do this. And maybe you pull it out a month from now when you're ready, right? But you'll have the information. So don't worry about doing all the things in 2 weeks.
The other thing I want to point out just real quickly here is that when we think about the way our body works and our organs work, our liver will not properly. So say you're one of those people where You know your system needs a detox. Like you can feel it. Like when I get really sludgy and tired, fatigue is like my number one sign where I know I need to like pay attention and do like detox. So if you have fatigue, low energy, a lot of cravings, your body might be actually telling you it needs a little bit of a detox. However, you can't just go and jump into a detox without properly preparing your body. And I also do not recommend going to a natural food store and buying a liver detox box off the shelf and doing that for however long they have you do those for. The thing that, so your liver is your main like detoxifying organ, that and your kidneys. But the one thing I wanted to say about the liver is that if you know, like say in a month or two from now, you want to come back to Kristen and I and you're saying, hey, look, I'm ready for some like more intensive care. Can you guide me through a detox? Absolutely. But you know what we have to do first? We have to get your nutrient levels up, because your liver cannot properly detox unless it has the proper nutritional diversity in your system, so that you're actually fueling the enzymes that make your liver work to properly detoxify. So if it's something where you know like weight's a struggle, hormone imbalance is a struggle,
Skin
fatigue
issues is a big one.
Skin issues is a big one. If you know those are things that you want to clear up and you want to move forward, then the first step would be to really pay attention to the diversity in your food choices while you're going through this program. I mean, the liver loves, you know, cruciferous vegetables, garlic, onions. Kristen can tell you a lot about those and the properties with detoxifying, but it's like not rocket science. You just have to provide your organs with nutritional diversity so that they can properly create the enzymes associated in the detoxification process. So you have to take a chunk of time to set your body up with eating a variety of clean, whole foods so that you can, in like 2 to 4 weeks from now, then you can make the choice, oh, I just want to keep doing this. I feel really good. I just want to keep eating this way. Or now you're set up, if you do want to do like a more intensive detoxification where you're jumping into phase 1 and phase 2 and you're going forward with that, your body's going to be ready. So I just wanted to mention that there's a lot of thought that goes into the preparation of your materials, and you'll notice like the meal plan itself is super colorful. You're bringing in lots of antioxidants and polyphenols. You're bringing in lots of vitamins and minerals, so that, and we said this, you know, when we were in our sales pitch for the program, this is not a quick fix type program. We want to take the time to set you up for success so that this becomes part of the habit that we're building. We're only doing 14 days in our boot camp, but it only really takes 21 days. So an extra week of doing this to create that habit to keep it moving forward. So is there anything you wanted to add to that? No?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it kind of, the analogy is like your car can't run on empty. So you got to fill it up with the right stuff to get it moving. And so your body can't do anything when it's not being given the right nutrients, right? So you got to fill it up with all those key nutrients before it can heal even. I mean, not even just detoxify, like heal in general. It has to have what it needs to function properly to be able to do anything. So I think that's kind of the big takeaway from that.
Yeah. And some of the things that will hold the liver back are going to be toxins, insulin resistance, metabolic syndrome, all of those things that can, diabetes, all of those things can actually, harm the liver too. So the more that we can get that under control now, the more that we're saving our liver and our organs down the road. And that actually, guys, will then stem into some of those longer, scarier chronic illnesses that like cancers and Alzheimer's and things like that. So there's a real domino effect here that we just want to kind of lay out in the beginning so you know the perspective that we're working from. It's really a whole body long-term care approach so that you can really have optimal wellness in 13 days from now, but then also keep it moving forward. So, and if you guys have any questions, or if we're like, you know, being confusing or whatever, if you need clarification, let us know. In the meantime, I'm going to show you guys how to get into your membership site. How about that? So we're going to go to Wellbody. Do you guys know we had a website? Not just a Facebook group. Wellbodytribe.com. Oh, you know what? I have to copy and paste the link because I can't actually remember what the link is. Okay, let me get that real quick here. Just actually, you know what? Let's just go to wellbodytribe.com. If you want to open this yourself on your browser and follow along, feel free. So this is like 90% set up right now. So go to wellbodytribe.com. I'm going to screen share so I can kind of, you can watch while you're logging in if you would like. Hold on, I can't. Sorry. Technical. Do you guys see that? You can, right? Kristen, can you see that? Is it up?
Yes.
Okay. So if you guys want to follow along, you go to wellbodytribe.com and you can feel free to bookmark this. And then go to the section that just says Wellbody Bootcamp. So you are in the members only section right here. I might, okay, I couldn't remember if I password protected it or not. Let me make sure I know the password. Okay, good. So the password is all caps, the word real, REAL. So that's the password to get into your membership site. So I don't know if you want to jot that down. But the password is real in all caps. And let me just take you through this. So I put in course materials. Now, because you have lifetime access now, after this year, we're doing all lifetime access moving forward. Yes, this will stay up on the site long term. So even in, 3 months from now, if you feel like you want to do the reboot, you'll be able to log in. And if there's something, funny that happens with the password or something, just reach out to one of us. But yes, you will have access to this as long as we're doing the program. So I can't see us not doing the program in the near future. So you will always have access to it, but feel free to download and put all the documents in, on your desktop too, if you want. So here's the bonus recipe with the zucchini from last night. And then inside the Wellbody Bootcamp 14-day meal plan, you scroll down and you have the nutrition guidelines here, meal plan for week 1. This is also where I will post the meal plan for week 2 and any other additional recipes that I feel are beneficial, like the egg-free ones I threw up in the group today. I could pull those in here as well, so you have all of them in one spot. Wellbody Bootcamp fitness videos are here. So, as you know, Kristen and I have teamed up with a personal trainer, and she did some videos for you designed specifically for beginners who need just 15-minute quick videos. So what I want you to do first is when you log into your membership site is listen to her introduction, watch her introduction so you can get acquainted with her. Her name is Lisa, and she's your personal trainer for the program. She is in Mexico right now, I believe, but she will be back in a few days, and she'll be more involved at that point. I think she's coming back the 15th. So we have a cardio workout on video, we have a body weight workout on video, and we also have a Pilates workout on video. And what Lisa told me was that you could actually do the same workout every 3 days. So you could rotate through these and your body in 2 weeks would still be okay. Oh, can you guys hear me? Sounds like I just broke up. That through the course of 2 weeks, you could do the workouts a few times and your body would adapt perfectly. So if you have any questions.
And the other part of that too is, for instance, on her body weight video, it's about a 20-minute video. And what she does in the beginning of that video is she really wants everybody to have good form so that they don't get injured. So she does take some time at the beginning of the video to go through the form, and then she goes into the workout. So you could watch the form part of the video once and then, fast forward to the end on your subsequent times watching it. But one thing that I did when I did the video is it was about an 8 to 10 minute circuit of, I want to say she did 6 exercises. So I just did it 3 times. So I just did the circuit and then rewound it, did it again, and rewound it, did it again. And she uses things that you have in your home, so you don't have to have any equipment. I had dumbbells, so she uses a heavy book to do her reps, and I think she's tricep curls with them. I just use dumbbells, so you can, even though she's geared them to be really simple, you can make them more difficult based on where you're at right now. But she does 3 different types of push-ups. She does, if you're a super beginner, she does wall push-ups, and she just shows you the knee push-ups and the regular push-ups. So she does go through a bunch of levels. So no matter where you're at, if you can only do it once, only do it once. And then hopefully by the end of the 2 weeks, you'll be doing it twice. So you can, but you can build on it. So you don't have to, if it's too easy the first time, just rewind it and do it twice.
Yep. And Kristen has been posting some, her workout videos. Feel free to do those. I know someone hopped into it today and they're like, you know what? I think the only thing I can do is take a walk at lunchtime. Again, this is your program. What you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. So if that's where you're at, perfect. That's fine. Still, please share what you're doing, because we're here in all different levels. Just supporting each other.
And just moving. All we want you guys to do is move. You don't have to do big elaborate workouts. You don't have to go to the gym. You can walk. You can do a 10-minute YouTube video. We just want you to do some type of movement.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we also have in here for you a detox guide, which I believe is going to make me, so this is a download. As soon as you click on that image, it's a download. So you'll get the detox guide. And basically, if you go back to kind of what I was talking about earlier, reading through this is going to give you more in-depth information about how to combat some of those symptoms that you might feel removing sugar, gluten, and dairy for 2 weeks.
And generally with those 2 guys, they're usually only the first few days. So it's kind of just to get you over the hump. But like Stephanie said, you might not get any detox symptoms. But if you do.
And this is a good resource for you to have anytime to reference.
And we say detoxing, like she said, we're not doing an actual detox, but those symptoms do crop up when you do things like give up coffee or stop eating sugar.
Yep. So you can look through this. It's like 13 to 15 pages. There's recipes in here. Kristen's going to be doing some more demos in the Facebook group that are extensions of the information in this detox guide. So if you have questions about that, you can also let us know at that time. Is there anything else you wanted to say about this?
No, okay. I don't think so.
And then the one other thing, Kristen is just finishing up the Glowing Summer Skin Guide. So as soon as we have that done, we'll be posting that in here for you as another downloadable PDF. So we don't have that ready to go right now, but in a few days we will. And this is going to give you a lot of those tips over the next few months that you can incorporate to get some more glowing skin, which we all want, right? So that's what we have for you right now, are those 4 components. However, because you guys are one of the first groups to go through this program, if you feel like there's something that should really be in here, please let us know so we can consider creating it and adding it for you within the next, 10 to 14 days.
And if you guys look through some of this stuff and you think, you need some more information on anything, just let us know. Oh, and always tag us in your comments or in your questions in the Facebook group. Sometimes if we're not tagged, we miss them. Even if it's in a comment, just tag us so that we can make sure we see them.
Yes. I think I get like 16,000 notifications every day, so it's easy to miss. So yeah, good point. So I'm gonna come back over here, and in our last few minutes, we're actually going to do a little bit of mindset stuff to get ourselves ready for the rest of the program. So let me pause. Are there any questions up to this point?
I know some of you guys are feeling overwhelmed as well. Do you feel a little better, a little less overwhelmed now that we've gone through some of the components?
I'm going to take that as everyone's doing good.
So much better. Great, Brooke. Glad to hear it.
Awesome. I could I was like watching your progression like throughout
the day.
You were like, I hate this boot camp. Why did I do this? And then you're like, oh, well, it's not that bad. And now you're like, I'm ready to go. I was on the crazy train tonight. That's so funny.
You had a little buyer's remorse there in the beginning. You're like, it's like when you buy a house and you're like, crap, what did I just do?
Yeah. Oh, so funny. Yeah, we just want to give you guys a huge high five for, doing this for yourself, because Kristen and I are not about the shakes, the quick fixes, the supplement packs and all of that stuff, which seems to be, everywhere you turn. There's, I'm going to do this. I hate to do this, but I'm going to do it. There's a health coach selling stuff. So the fact that we are coming at this from a more holistic perspective, and you guys are all about that, I think it's going to work really well for you. Good. Yeah, Teresa's saying, she's like, I'm just not stressing about it. Oh no, someone broke a toe. And you've got visitors. Yeah, life is a little crazy. So yeah,
but it never ends. So all we can do is not stress.
I'm glad we we diffused this a little bit. What I want to do for the last 10 minutes, and actually you can feel free to stay on for a few minutes afterwards if you would like to, but we're not going to go too much further, but I want you to make sure that you have enough time to dedicate to answering some of the questions in the client or in the bootcamp workbook. So I'm going to flip over to that. And I did ask you guys to print that off and bring it to the call tonight. So I hope some of you have it. If not, I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to trust that you're going to be good little students and fill this out, because it is very important to measure growth.
And I'll just add a note here, like, it's so, you forget so quickly where you've been and how far you've come or the progress that you've made. And I even am like, I'll even say, so I mentioned, I think in another video that I started working out like a couple months ago, like even in this short time, I'll get down or get hard on myself, like, oh, I'm not making progress fast enough. But then you don't realize how far you've come if you don't document, because it's super easy to forget where you started at. So write it down, because you'll forget. You'll be like, oh, maybe I'm like, doing a little better. And then if you were to really like go back and look at the documentation, you'd be like, holy crap, I forgot I felt like that. So it really is a good tool, even just to say, wow, look how far I've come.
The workbook is actually, I should add it in there. It's in the Facebook group. I added it as a file, I think maybe yesterday, but I'll add it in the membership site after we get off here, because that should definitely be in there. I need to post it now. Sorry, I'm writing myself a note. Okay, so let's go over what this looks like, and then we're going to take a few minutes of quiet time so that you can actually answer some of the questions in here, because like Kristen said, it is super important for us to set the intentions, but also to become aware of where we're at right now. Okay, so this is the Well Body Bootcamp workbook. And before you go any further in this bootcamp and you start feeling awesome and amazing while you still feel like crap, I want you to fill this part out. So, okay, I'm kidding there. But I do want you to fill this out. Weight, energy 1 to 10, chest, waist, hips, thighs. So do each thigh separately. I would actually do a left leg and a right leg. Go through, and I actually took this, changed just a little bit, but it's mostly Dr. Mark Hyman's toxicity quiz that he uses. So you go through and you give yourself a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, which is almost never, to frequently, all the time, super severe. And you just do the before column. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, on our closing call, we're going to do the after, and then we're going to notice and see if there was any difference there so that you can actually highlight your improvement. So this is a pretty thorough scale, and it also focuses on emotions. I do not want you to skip over this part, you guys. I want you to go in and think about, are you having the mood swings? Yes, I know some of you are. We talked about this already. Are you having the anxiety? Are you having some depression and fatigue? Yes, you are. So go in and rate it so that you can track your progress. And it goes through head, heart, joints, muscles, lungs, and then another focus on things like memory and concentration. So this in and of itself will take 5, 6, 7 minutes. We're going to go through that, and then get your head in the game and your results will soar. So before beginning, it's important to take this inventory and answer some of these questions. So tonight, we're going to answer, what would you like to change over the next 2 weeks? Is there an area in your life you would like to focus on? And guys, this is going to be your stuff, your information, but we might be asking you to share some of this stuff in the Facebook group. Do you have pain? How are your energy levels? If you feel like you have to go into more detail, I've given you space to do that. Write out your current health concerns or issues, because in a few weeks, it might be something a little bit different. What do you intend to get out of this boot camp? What do you really want for yourself? Who will you be when this cleanse is finished? And I don't want you to overlook this part. I actually want to take like 1 minute right now And I want you to think about who you want to be and what you want to feel like at the end of 2 weeks. There is a reason why you signed up for this. So what would you like to accomplish without holding back? Don't hold back. Think about ultimately and optimally, what would you like to feel like? Some of you might be thinking, I want more energy. I'd like to lose 5 pounds. Share if you feel called to share. Maybe some of you are thinking, gosh, I would love to like sleep through the night, not have a 3 p.m. energy slump. Maybe I don't want to yell at my kids anymore. Maybe I want to, feel like my mood is more balanced.
And as you think about it too, guys, make sure it's really something that, not just kind of a passive thing that you want. Make sure it's something that you really want, because if you don't have like conviction behind it, it's not going to be, it's not going to mean anything. It's not going to have a driving force to push you forward through this when you seem like you don't want to do it anymore.
Right. And our accountability group in the Facebook group is going to help keep you going, but it really has to come from an internal place. So the more you can feel what you want, the more you can fuel your motivation to keep you going. And these questions help get you there. The other thing that I put here for you is that make this commitment to yourself. All of these things are going to help you succeed now and later. So I want to charge you with the expectation that you're going to read through all of these and initial each one, so that you are putting it out there. You're putting the good energy out there. You're embracing it mentally, that you are going to make this commitment.
You guys, this is really like above everything. It's like a mental game. You can have all the nutrition in the world, you can have all the fitness tips in the world, but it really you have to be doing this and have a reason that kind of like lights a fire for you, because the mental part of it's huge.
I was just talking to someone the other day, and I was asking her, why is changing your diet so important to you? And, a lot of times it comes down to an emotional thing, an emotional connection, and, wanting to be able to feel good so that you can do something, right? So we were all given this purpose on this earth, and if you feel like crap, you can't do it. So, one of my personal charges lately has been like, there's all these people out there with such amazing gifts, such amazing talents that can impact the world and create a ripple effect. But if you feel like crap and you can't do what you were put here on this earth to do, that's a disservice. So I'm like, what if I can help all of these people get to the point where they're doing what they were called to do? And like Kristen said, a lot of the game is coming down to the self-talk, the mental game, the people you surround yourself with, what you're, going to bed and telling yourself, what you're waking up and telling yourself. If you're waking up and you think you can beat the odds and you think you're going to have an amazing day and you're thankful for putting your 2 feet on the ground and living and breathing, you're going to have an awesome day. Trust me. If you're getting up and you're thinking, oh, woe is me, and I've got all this to do, and how in the world am I going to get this done, and I can't believe this happened to me, you're going to stay stuck. So that's why this commitment is in place. And we will be posting these commitments of affirmations in the Facebook group. So every single day you're going to see 1 or 2 of these, and we're going to say, read this out loud to yourself, just as a reminder, but I want you to do it yourself first. So there's some check-in questions. I'm not going to spend much time on that. And there's also a place for you to write in what went well and what sucked. So if something was crap, write it down. If something was amazingly awesome that you didn't expect it, write it down. if there's like some notes in the Facebook group about food substitutions or a detox tip that you need to remember, here's your journal space, write it down. So I just want to encourage you to take the next 10 minutes, take the next 15 minutes, because if you don't, you might never do this part of it. And I really, really, really want you guys to be aware of the before and after, so that you can, see how far you have come in such a short amount of time, even when you are doing it the right way and not coming at it from a quick fix attitude. So Kristen and I, we're going to hang on here for 10 minutes. If you have this printed out, get started working on it right away, right now. If you don't have it printed out, I wonder if I can drop this file in the chat box.
I did just boost it in the Facebook group as well.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to pop over there, they can find it too.
Okay, awesome. I will see if I can. Okay, you already answered those. And Teresa just said she wants to be free of sugar cravings that feel out of control and stronger physically. Yeah, I think at the end of these 2 weeks, you're actually going to do both of those, which is exciting, super exciting. Can I drop this in?
I don't think you can do files. Something says, I feel like we tried to do it in one of the mentor calls once and we couldn't.
Yeah, it's not letting me. It's kicking it back out. But anyway, it's in the Facebook group where you can go in and download it, print it off. Kristen and I are going to hang out here. If you have personal questions you'd like to ask us, feel free. We'll be here until 9:40, 9:45. But awesome first day, everybody. Super, super proud of you. We just want to encourage you to keep going, focus on the process, focus on the progress, focus on your well body and not perfection, and not getting beat up about not doing the quote unquote right thing, because that's not what this is about. This is long-term healing we're talking about.
And also, you guys, as you go through it too, I want you to remember, like, we're not the type of people who are like, there's good food and there's bad food and you can never do this. So if you have a bad day, like, or if you have something that you're like, I know I shouldn't have had that. Oh, well, like, say, okay, I did it. Now let's move on. Like, don't guilt yourself. Don't stress yourself. Like, stress is like the killer of everything. So it's more important that you just say, okay, shoot, I had a piece of chocolate. I'm going to move on than to stress about it, because it's done and over with. So we always want you guys to make sure that you're not stressing about stuff that, long term doesn't matter. The stress is worse than the quote unquote bad thing. So don't ever like use it. This is good and this is bad, and I had a bad day of eating. Like, we don't think like that, and we don't want you guys to either.
Awesome, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to go ahead and stop recording. And like I said, we're going to be hanging out here. So we really want to encourage you. Teresa's going to go sign off, print the workbook. Yep, take 15, 20 minutes tonight. You are very, very welcome. Becky, thank you for coming, hopping on. We are so pumped to see what's going to happen with you guys.
And anybody wants to share in the Facebook group, feel free when you do or even just come in and say, I did my workbook.
And you're going to want to do it, because tomorrow we're going to tell you that might be worth something. Remember, I told you in the beginning, giveaways that we're doing. Keeping it light and fun. All right, everybody. Have a good one.